When I get it right, I question everything in sight. When I get it right, I doubt myself, this can't be right. When I get it right, I question what if it's too tight. When I get it right.
So I remember freshman year, I was like lowest key, kind of dating this guy. First, kind of, he wasn't really a boyfriend. And this takes me back to the question, we're really talking about catching up on love, right? He was like he wasn't a boyfriend. He was someone that I was kind of dating with, whatever. And I told my parents about it, and I remember they came to visit me for lunch or something. And as they dropped me off on campus, I got out of the car and I said, like literally I'm getting out of the car and I said, oh, by the way, I had wanted to tell them the whole time. My heart was pounding. And like I had friends that I was texting with, like I'm going to tell my parents, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, by the way, I'm seeing someone. His name is Jake.
Then it's my duty to recruit the youth with these words. She got swollen glands, they got wedding plans. Man, he's the man, I'll never be the man. So yeah, I'm actually kinda fucking pissed. You can put it on my list, a Christmas wish. Is there affirmative action for love? Chance of a fraction of love, a plan of action for these ones, these sums. Testosterone don't make the drop. Knock, knock, who's there, your favorite faggot?
I got out of the car and slammed the door, and I just remember looking back and like seeing my parents like, whoa. And like running back to my dorm, and like 3 of my best friends were there, like waiting for me, were like giving me a hug, and it was like a very exciting thing. A weight lifted, and then there was a whole, there was a chapter with my parents of like them understanding and those kinds of things. But largely, my parents were very understanding and supportive. That's a separate interview, but the point is that I had these, I had a homeboy that I kind of was seeing freshman year, and then I was openly gay sophomore year. I wrote the article and I capitalized, and the point of that article with the word gay is I capitalized the word gay every time to like really, I wanted to claim it. I needed to claim that word, which I had previously dismissed and rejected out of my own fear and self-loathing. But then I didn't really date anyone in college. I had my fair share of kind of like drunk hookups and crushes here and there, but like I never really had a relationship with someone. And I think that a relationship, when I say relationship, I mean traditional romantic partnership, because I had lots of wonderful relationships with lots of people, men and women. They were just largely non-sexual. But the point is, I think I didn't date people in college because okay, great, I'm gay now, and it's okay for me to be gay, and it's okay for me to like now I'm establishing and learning that I can be gay and also be all these other things and openly talk about my sexual attraction to men. But that doesn't erase the 18 years of conditioning to understand traditional romantic love as between a man and a woman. And that doesn't erase my idea that I am somehow worth less in those traditional romantic relationships because mine would be with a man. So I went through 5 years of college. I took a year off to travel with a singing group called the Whiff and Poofs, and we went all over the world and toured, and it was really during that year that I actually decided I wanted to be a full-time musician. So all in all, it was 5 years based in New Haven, and never really had a traditional romantic partner. And meanwhile, more and more of my friends were coming out and having partners, and also gay people I knew were having traditional romantic partners. I've had gay people both share the experience that I talk about in How High, but also not. It's interesting. I know people my age who came out when they were 13, 14, and had a different experience than I did. But I can only talk about my experience, and I found it just really hard to allow myself to love and to allow myself to be loved, especially in the last year and a half as I've been busier with my career. I don't have time for a boyfriend. Yeah, of course I'm openly gay. I'm singing about it. I'm talking about it on stage. I'm talking about it in interviews. My whole, team knows about it. It's a big focus of our launching my project. It's not something that we're shying away from. But I'm still also kind of like not experiencing traditional romantic partnership. I also work weddings, so I'm also like on the side. I've been coming up for a long time. I've made extra money. I'm doing this less now, but I've made extra money just as a singer. Now I have a record deal and whatever. I'm songwriting professionally and working with a team to launch my original work. But I'm coming from a scene where like I work corporate gigs and weddings, and so I've had this tap for the last few years into the wedding industry. And that experience has also informed my ideas about traditional romantic partnership, because weekend after weekend after weekend, it's me on the microphone singing "I Feel Good" and introducing Grandpa to come make a speech to share the words with Jamie and Brian, or whoever the fuck's wedding it is this weekend. Congratulations to all the people that see me and remember that I sang at your wedding. It was a lovely wedding. But they were all the same. Everyone's doing the same shit at these weddings. Everyone's wearing the dress, getting the caterer, bringing, it's a show. It is a show. And it's a show that revolves around the very same traditional romantic partnership that made me feel worth less from the time I was 5 years old. Because even when you're 5 and you see, the couple kissing in the rain in whatever, I can't even think of some gushy romance movie, but you see that couple and it's like, oh, that's the ideal. That's where we want to get. And then you grow up, and then you're 23 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 30, and all your friends are getting married, and they're having these giant shows, productions. They're hiring a 10-piece band. They're hiring a photographer. They're inviting people from all over the world, all of their friends from everywhere to come have a big party to celebrate this relationship. Why aren't I having a wedding to celebrate my relationship with my wonderful managers, who I've now been with for over a year, and we've done incredible work together? Why aren't we having a wedding? Exactly. Why do we choose to celebrate certain types of relationships? And which relationships? The ones that involve fucking. It is an obsession with sex that we don't talk about. It's again this pull and tug of privacy on the one hand, but also like we have to celebrate it. This is what it is. Welcome to the wedding. Welcome to the marriage industry. It's an industry. We're making money off of it. And that also is part of it too, right? There's corporate investments in traditional romantic love. So when I start now talking about the corporate investments in traditional romantic love, this now taps into kind of my most recent mentality, my most recent ideology, which is kind of moving beyond my identity as a gay man, which I still very much hold on to, and more into my identity as a queer artist. My being queer is more of an investigation of the systems that teach us about what love is supposed to look like, what a good education is, what fairness is, what kind of rights we get as immigrants, as married couples, as non-citizens, really investigating the systems of hierarchies that largely are, topped by white, cis, male patriarchy. I at once feel like I'm catching up on traditional romantic love, and I'm aware that traditional romantic love may largely be a concept that I was taught I was supposed to want. Do I even want it? Maybe I want to go start a village, and we're all polygamous together, and we're raising our 14 kids together on a farm. I don't know. Do I actually want a traditional romantic partner, or is that just what I've been told from the time I was 5? Now I'm writing songs about it. Now I'm crying about it because I'm catching up on it. But do I even want that thing? Do we want that thing? Is it natural? We talk about love is natural. There's so much rhetoric around it. He's your one partner. He's your soulmate. She's the one for you. I think you're gonna love her. We have so much language around sexual partnership. We define our relationships here in New York. Oh, so how's your love life? Who are you seeing? Oh, is he just a friend, or is it something more? You know what I mean? Like, we have so much language. We're obsessed with understanding how an individual organizes their relationships around sexual and non-sexual partners. So I'm now today invested in this complicated space where there is a part of me that wants a tradition, that wants a boyfriend to come home to and hold me and cook for me, and I'm gonna cook for him, and we know everything about each other, and we're emotionally invested in each other, and we love each other, right? And that sounds so great, and that is great, and this is no shade to people for whom traditional romantic partnership is working. And I think there may be a time, and maybe now is even a time where it is kind of working, like, I'm not saying I'm not interested in that. We're not even kind of having that now. It's a constant investigation and a constant kind of sociological poke and pull at, like, what is this? Do I want this? Am I supposed to want this? Was I told to want this? Who's making money from me wanting this? Am I spending money wanting this? Think about weddings. We've all been to weddings where we have to go, now we gotta buy a flight to go to your damn wedding. I gotta buy you a $200 gift. When are you coming to my, if I don't get married, I just never get gifts from everyone? That's not fair. Why are we so invested in this type of partnership? But at the same time, I want it, because I'm a slave to the system too. And I want it to look the good way, and I want to have a card, and I want Valentine's Day, and I want strawberries and chocolate. And I want him to hold me and kiss me and blah, 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 you know? So then I get a little bit in my head, and I'm just like, fuck, I don't know, you know? I don't even know. I just gotta go every day and just live and try and see and kind of step out of myself, because at the end of the day, I'm an artist, and I just have to do what feels good and what I think is right, you know? But there definitely is an academic investigation that intrigues me surrounding these questions. I think just like looking for happiness, being okay with your happiness, and being okay with other people's happiness, even if things that led to their happiness aren't going to lead to your happiness, that's maybe the goal. You know, just like, what's the point of life, right? For me, more and more, it's like being happy and spreading happiness, like giving people opportunities to be happy and safe. And when I get it right, I doubt myself, this can't be right. Say, when I get it right, I question what if it's too tight. When I get it right.